Hi folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report. Well, I've got to tell you, for years and years and years, I have longed to get back into trout fishing. It's how I grew up. And because as time went on, I sort of got the feeling that I really didn't know what I was doing with trout fishing anymore. I didn't think that I was going to be successful when I went out. I wasn't sure what lures a trout would hit. Well, with my almost avid dedication to try to get better at trout fishing this year, I have come upon a lure that has helped me to just have fantastic results. And it's a little soft, and I'll share it. Most fishermen will not share the type of lures that they use. They want to keep it a secret, just like they want to keep their favorite place they go a secret. They don't want other people taking their fish, and I understand this, but I'm going to share it with you. This is a little lure made by BERKLEY. It's called an atomic teaser. And most of you look at this and you think, my goodness, you're only going to catch a minnow on this. It's so small. It's a little soft plastic tube jig, which means it's got little tentacles coming out of it. And then in the middle, it has a little thin rubber strip like a worm, just a thin, light tail. And that's what it represents, a tail. And I've taken this lure, and it's tiny. It only weighs 1/32 of an ounce. So I use very light line and light leader, and it has a little bitty hook on it. And I'll tell you what, I have had so many trout hit. I think it's as an effective a bait as one of the best flies or even live bait. And I throw it out, and again, 1/32 of an ounce. It doesn't weigh very much. So I let it drift naturally down the current, and bam, the fish hit. I will be truthful, though. I bet you I get 6, 7, maybe 10 strikes for every fish that I actually catch. I don't hook them all that well, but it's a little tiny hook. But this is a blast. I've gone places lately where there's a number of other fishermen around fishing, and they're using spinners or they're using other things, and I'm catching it. There's been times I'm catching a lure on almost every cast. I let it go down. The fish hit it hard. I'll hook them for a second, and a lot of times I'll get off. But this has been some of the best trout fishing I've ever had. Now, this little lure comes in a number of colors. And I thought at first, well, if I get some of the colors that work so well, for like chartreuse or pink or white with red and so forth, and some of them work pretty good. But they also make it in, I want to say, natural colors that look more like a grasshopper or something that would be natural underwater. And the one that I've done the best with has a dark greenish head and then a brownish little tentacles and a brownish tail. And the fish seem, for every strike I get on the white or the other colors that I normally would use, the colors you'd think would look like a minnow or something, I get 10 strikes on that natural brown and green colored bait. So I've learned an awful lot, and I'm trying to pass it on to you. A lot of you might not even go out trout fishing, but I'll tell you what, I had no idea the number of great trout waters that we have right around us. I'm talking within 20 minutes drive of just about any place all of you listening might live. And there's a lot of streams, and the state is stocking them. Most of them have fish in them now. Now the water's warmed up. It's now is the time. Now is the time for almost all fishing, but trout fishing right now is fabulous. It really is fabulous. I've caught a number of 16, 17-inch brown trout, caught some little beautiful brook trout in the upper reaches of the Grass River. I mean, it's wonderful. And for me, it's a tremendous amount of fun, and it does take me back to when I was a kid. And remember, a lot of these trout waters that the state stocks, they stock these trout to be caught and taken. You know, well, everything that we talk about anymore is catch and release. We catch the fish, we take care of it, we're very careful. We release it so we can catch it again, so it can go on and spawn and have more fish. But with stock trout, a lot of time the state feels it's put and take. They put them in, and we take them, and we can keep 5 fish a day. Only 2 trout can be over 12 inches. The rest have to be smaller. Anything bigger, you got to throw back or not keep. You're allowed 5 a day, and if you treat them right, and here's the other tip that I will give you. If you're going to keep your trout and eat them, then immediately kill them when you catch them. Keep them in cold conditions. Clean them. Take the insides out just as quick as you can. And then when you take them home, wash them and try to eat them the same day. Yeah, you can keep them in the fridge and they'll be okay for a while. But if you eat them the same day you catch them, they're going to be at their finest, and they can be wonderful. We just broiled them with olive oil, and that's it. When I was a kid, it was always rolling them in flour and eggs and cracker crumbs and frying them in butter. And yeah, that was good. But I'll tell you what, I think they're just as good broiled without all the other stuff on them. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report.